Welcome back to Nintendo Live 2024 Sydney. Coming up next on stage, we have a very exciting special guest Q&A with someone who's traveled a long way to be here. And to introduce our guest, please welcome to the stage Mario superfan and host of the Q&A, Celia Pacquola.
Hello! Woo! Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I am Celia. I have a headset mug and a clipboard. I mean business. Is everyone having a good time so far? What a wonderful event. It's so wonderful. This is my first time at anything like this, and I'm feeling the love in the room. Did anyone watch the Mario Kart tournament? How incredible! Congratulations to Panda, who is in the room, by the way. I feel a lot of pressure having you back there. It's so nice to be here. My name is Celia. I'm going to be interviewing, bringing out Charles Martinet, the Mario ambassador, and we're going to have a wonderful Q&A, a bit of a chat for about half an hour. Then I'm going to be reading out some audience questions from you, so if you submitted a question, we'll be getting to those. But just first, for a couple of minutes, just to settle in before we bring him out, I am going to, against my better judgment, play through a couple of Mario games that were very personal and special to me. Do we have any Mario fans in the room? Few? Any Luigi fans in? Woo! Oh! Wario's? Waluigi? Anyone? Yeah? Okay. Now here's the thing, I know it's a lot of age ranges in the room. I myself turned 30 10 years ago, so anyone in their 40s and above in the room? Oh, it's so polite. The 40-year-olds are like, yes. Children in the room, you might not know this, but some of us in our 40s, we actually played Mario, and higher, 50s in the room, up. Yeah, even more polite. Some of us played Mario before Mario had a voice. My first Mario Nintendo game was the Game Boy. Give me a cheer, anyone in the room had a Game Boy, classic grey, Super Mario Land. How good was it? Tiny little Mario, no voice, incredible. I never had a console growing up. My friend had got what console. I say my friend, I didn't like her very much, but I did want to play the game a lot, so I was at her place. And she had the best thing in the world, which was Super Mario All-Stars. Anyone? It had 4 games, and my favourite was Super Mario Bros. 3. Again, it was Mario with no voice. And what I'm going to play for you, very exciting, is, I've got to get the name correctly, Super Mario Bros. Advance 4 Super Mario Bros. 3, okay? So, it was such a wonderful thing. They re-released the game now with Charles Martinet voicing. So for the first time in front of a bunch of strangers, I'm going to be playing a level from that, and I am not an expert. This is very intense. This is like parallel parking in front of a cafe, guys. Woo! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I mean, that was just a test to see if you were watching, everybody. Okay. Oh, there we go. Now we're getting it. Is anyone else having a nostalgia experience from this? Look at this game. Oh my gosh. Look at him. All right. Oh, I let him go. I didn't want to get him. So yeah, I just love this game so much, and then getting to play it now with, Mario having a voice is just like, you know when there's something that you love and connect with, and then one day it starts to speak to you. I mean, just the absolute joy of a lifetime. And not only speak to you, okay. Thank you. It's going okay. Look, everyone remembers that. That's the worst feeling in the world, as soon as you get it and then it goes away. But yeah, not only to have Mario suddenly talk to me, but then have a voice that is so joyous and positive, and even when you lose, he sounds disappointed but not defeated, you know? Oh, why am I even going for them? Just let him go, Celia. Let him go. No. Yes. All right. Thank you. All right. So, look, I'll get down. I'm having too much fun. Thank you. Oh, that would have been bad. Give me a cheer who played this game back in the day. Do you remember if I can beat that with my tail? Can I? If I remember how to do the tail? Come on, you chicken. You know, all right. I do remember this bit though. Yes, thank you. Wait, what's that? A regular block? Who thinks it's a regular block? No. Thank you. Did it. All right. I've got one more thing to show you, so I will get through this very quickly. Run. Whee! I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed it very much. I'm going to play one more. I'm going to change games. I'm going to play one more game. Obviously, there's so many Mario games that I love. including Mario Kart. But my Mario Kart character of choice is Wario. And having watched the tournament, I think I know why I lost all the time, because seems like Yoshi is the way to go. The game that... Oh, it's gone blank on me. Oh, no, it is loading. The second game that I'm going to play 20 years later, since that game that I played when I was 10, it is New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. Who's played this game? And I just thought it was a nice one to just have a little playthrough, because for me, it's, you know, all of the nostalgia. Yeah! Here it comes. It's all of the nostalgia and the love that I have for, you know, that side-scrolling game, platforming game, running along with Mario. But 20 years later, just look at it. Look at how beautiful it is. Look at the colours and the shapes, and they're spectacular. Look at them. I love both games equally, but oh, geez. Can I just say this? You don't appreciate this. You know when you hit the mushroom and it goes the opposite way to the way you're going? Oh, very special. Thank you. I mean, they seem too cute to jump on, almost. Also. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. My favourite Mario is probably Fire Mario, though. And then getting to say fireball, 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 fireball. I will just run on through. I know there's certain players who need to get everything, but I'm more of a let's run on through, go. Oh, that was overkill. I didn't need to do that to him, did I? He was already having a bad day. Secret coins, secret coins, secret coins. What, is there more? I really shouldn't turn this into a panto, but I would... What? Yeah, secret coins. Secret coins, secret coins, secret coins, secret coins, secret coins. So I didn't have any consoles when I was a kid. When I grew up, I bought all of them as an adult. And then in 2017, I bought a Switch, which remains my greatest prized possession in the whole world. I take it everywhere. I left it on a plane once when I was 37, and I had to call them and go, it is very, very, very important that I get my video game back. It's in a Zelda case. I know, no offense to Mario, but it is in a Zelda case. Oh no! Oh, I don't have time for life. I've got to bring out. All right. Let's get. Also, how vulnerable do you feel when you're Tiny Mario? All right, here we go. She did it. She's done it. I don't like my chances for making it to the top, but. Oh. Thank you. Thank you. That's it for that. We're doing this tomorrow. Will I do that tomorrow? I don't know. We'll see how we go. I had fun. I hope you enjoyed seeing that. But now it is time to introduce our very special guest. I am going to read this because it's important to me, because I'm so excited to introduce him. Today, everyone, I have the extreme honour of chatting to someone who is not only the voice of a generation, but multiple voices of multiple generations. From his first voice appearance in a Nintendo game as far back as Super Mario 64, this tour de force has been the voice behind some of Nintendo's most iconic and beloved characters in some of their most beloved and iconic games. Super Mario 64 was released in 1996, and with it, a 3D Mario armed with Charles's distinct brand of positive perseverance, ready to jump into paintings and battle Bowser. With his feet firmly planted as the voice of Mario, Charles's work with other Nintendo characters and games grew, adding Luigi, Waluigi, and others, including my personal Mario Kart character of choice, Wario. His career has spanned decades and multiple games, and it's often said voice acting enhances without distracting, which we can all agree is what his performance does. Outside of the games, it's clear that his commitment to meeting fans at conventions all over the world, that voicing Mario is more than just a job. It's something that he cares about very deeply, and his dedication to remain a positive, sunny influence to all he meets is a real credit to him. There's so much I could tell you about him, but he's such a wonderful and engaging speaker. I'm going to let him do it himself. Please would you give your warmest welcome and biggest wahoo to the voice of Mario, the new Mario ambassador, the one and only Charles Martinet!
Hello! Hello to all my friends in Sydney and all over the world. It's me, Super Mario. Wahoo! You're the superstars.
And Luigi too. Ho ho, mamma mia. Uh-oh, I'm down under and not upside down. And Wario, have a rotten day. Yahoo! Oh, wait a minute. Mommy told me to say something nice. hands. There, I said it. Hey, well, Luigi, everybody cheers with me. Hey, baby Luigi. Hey, baby Mario. Let's go. Yahoo! Hello.
See, Charles, so good to see you. Oh, sorry, here you go. Oh, you oh, that's what I'm sorry. That's why.
Back. Hi, everybody. First of all, I just want to say I am so grateful to be here. Now, how about our host? She's fantastic.
That's very kind.
Thank you so much. That was the most lovely introduction. You know, I am just so grateful to Nintendo for the just years and years and years of joy and happiness and fun, giving me the gift of being able to put a little bit of heart and character into each one of these wonderful people that live with us all every day. And very grateful to Sydney for having us here and to the around the world. And most of all, I'm grateful to you. You know, your love for the game is really what makes it all happen. And I get emotional because, you know, life is such a beautiful gift. And when your love of the game is what gives me that gift, the freedom to play and create and do this. And for the developers to make new games, to match up to your desires and your love for the game. So thank you. And thank you for playing my games. Really.
Wow.
And it also gives me the chance to go around the world and have fun and meet people, to be here in Sydney. What an incredible thing, you know? I'm just so grateful for that. I have the most wonderful life, and it's absolutely what I wish for everybody. That you find your dream, that you find whatever it is that gives you joy and happiness. Because I do voices, and that gives me joy and happiness. And that's led me down the path of doing the most fun I can possibly have. I love these characters. I still work on getting them better every single day because I love it. And when you love what you do, and you just, life works so beautifully. And I promise you, you absolutely deserve to do whatever you love to do in life. And as you do what you love to do, you bring happiness. You can't help it. It comes with you. It walks with you. And so I wish for you, each one of you, happiness and joy and fun and doing whatever it is that gives you peace and harmony and joy, because you deserve it. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. What? I feel, oh my, the warm and fuzzies in here. That is absolutely stunning. It's so exciting
Thank
to
you.
get to speak to you. Thank you for all of your work and your wonderful positive message. We've got a lot to get to. We will start with the big questions, of
Okay.
course. Do you pick Mario when you play Mario Kart?
Every single time.
Do you?
I do. I play Mario every single time, and every single time I go, whoa, 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 every time I play the games, which is very difficult when I play Galaxy, because I'm like this.
Yeah, right? The tilted ones are very...
Unless the only time I'm different is when I'm playing Smash Brothers, and it really doesn't matter whether my eyes are open or closed. I'm still doing this. The whole game, so...
Wow.
But yes.
I'm glad we got that cleared up.
Mario.
And the next question is something I don't think you've ever been asked before.
Sure.
But how did it all start? How
Oh
did
my
you become
goodness.
the voice of Mario?
Well, I was doing the thing that actors do. I was sitting at the beach, reading a book, waiting for my pager to go off. A lot of actors golfed, but I would sit at the beach and read, and my pager went off. And it was a friend of mine said, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, this must be for dinner tonight, because obviously I like food quite a bit. And so I brushed myself off, got on the phone and said, hey, what's going on? He said, you got to go crash this audition. It's for a job I'm doing in Vegas. And I said, I'm a professional actor. Where should I go? And I got in the car, I left the beach, and I parked the car, the first miracle, in downtown. And I was walking in the building as the producer, director, and the cameraman was walking behind, and I saw the Sony camera. I said, hey, can I please read for this? And he looked at me and looked at the pub next door and said, all right, come on inside. We'll set up the camera. You're an Italian plumber from Brooklyn named Mario for a company called Nintendo. I had never heard of Nintendo. I had never heard of Mario. And I'm thinking, So we're going to do this real-time animation system. You're going to wear these points on your face, and when you move your face, that should make the character move his face. But we have no idea if it's going to work or not. So if it doesn't work, I'm not going to pay you to drink coffee all day. Make up a voice, make up a video game, make up anything you want. and just talk until you run out of things to say. This was his first mistake. Because obviously I never run out of things to say, but I'm sitting there thinking, Italian plumber from Brooklyn, hey, get out of my face, I'm working here, don't bother me. And I thought, well, I don't want to do that, because what if there are children there? I don't want to be like that all day long and scare people. So I played Gremio and Taming of the Shrew. So I nice Italian guy, and I thought, oh, I'll do that, but I'll just make him younger, and then I'll just make up the video game. Well, I knew nothing about video games. My day of video games was Tank and Pong, and asteroids, like that was what I knew. But I knew food. So I heard action. I said, "Hello, I'm a Mario. Let's make a pizza pie together. You go get some sausage. I'm gonna get some spaghetti. We're gonna put the spaghetti and the sausage in the pizza, and then I'm gonna chase you with the pizza. And if I catch you with the pizza, you gotta make a pizza." Thinking that he'd say, "Lovely, thank you, now we're hungry." No, he didn't. He never said stop. So I went, okay, and then you're gonna make a pizza. And you chase with pizza, if you get the pizza, then we're gonna make a lasagna. And I just went through every pasta that I knew until I was making them up. He said, and then we're gonna make a rasta tutto l'otello, di segreta pasta. I'm gonna chase you with a rasta tutto l'otello, and okay, you gotta chase me with a, and then we're gonna make a pintalattato, di segreta. And I just kept going and kept going and going. I was having so much fun, and I fell in love with a character in that moment that just came out of my little heart, and I just kept going until I heard, "Stop talking." Cut, there's no more tape, thank you, we'll be in touch. Which I was sure meant, there's the door, we'll see you later. And so I went back to the beach, I saw the sunset, I had dinner with my friend. He got on the phone, he called, and he said, "I found our Mario, I got him." And mine was the only tape that he sent up there, and that's it. It's a true story.
Wow.
Yeah, and I guess Mr. Miyamoto heard it, and the people in Japan heard it, and they said, "It's a Mario."
Wow.
And that was 33 glorious years ago.
What a wonderful story. Also, I want to invent Rusta Battaglio, whatever type of pasta that was.
It's a delicious pasta. I'm going to invent it one day.
I did also want to ask you, I read that you took up acting classes to combat a fear of public speaking. I was wondering if you could talk to me about that, because I just think it's fascinating to think that someone might have a fear of public speaking who would go on to be one of arguably the most famous public speakers of all time.
Thank you. Honestly, it wasn't really to combat fear. It was because of my belly.
Oh, right.
I had left UC Berkeley for a while because I couldn't get the professor I wanted in political theory to write my thesis on. So I did what I do. I was a brat. I walked out Sather Gates, and a friend of mine said, "Well, Charles, why don't you come and take an acting class from me?" And I said, "Oh, Les Abbott was his name. Wonderful man." And I said, "There is absolutely no way I could ever stand in front of people. I'm way too shy. I could disappear in a room with 3 people in it, And he goes, "Well, I'll tell you what, we'll have lunch every day before class." And I went, "Lunch?" Yes, they're training to be chefs. Chefs? And my little tail starts waggling. And sure enough, I go, and it was all a deception, because you don't have to memorize the monologues, get ready, just do your stuff, and you don't have to if you don't want to do it. So of course, with the first monologue, everybody's up there, they're all doing their things. I'm like, oh, this is nice, I get to watch everybody. And then I started sweating, because I thought, what if this is le grand déception? And sure enough, everybody went, and he goes, "Well, Charles, you're up." And I went, I stood up, and my legs were shaking like this, and I was standing there, and I realized my right leg was going about like that. And I heard this voice inside my head, "Put your weight on your right leg." And I did. I'm like, oh, that's better. Then that one starts going. I'm like, "Put your weight evenly between the two." I put them there. Oh, that's blah, 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 blah. Then they're both going, yes. And I'm convinced that what I was saying, it was one of those, "My name is George, and I had a horrible thing in the fire." And I'm convinced that what they were hearing was, and I finished this monologue, and people went, "Yay!" I made polite applause, blah, blah. "I have a question for you. Why are you the only person who wasn't nervous?" What? And I'm serious. They honestly said that. I went, well, I was horrified. I was terrified. You didn't show it. You had so much confidence. That's acting.
Wow.
And that was the beginning of me doing that. And the greatest thing, this is a piece for everybody. dare to do something you're terrified of doing. Not jump out of a plane necessarily, but things that scare you personally. Because, you know, I did that, and that's how the way I became an actor was I was called up to audition. We had a school play audition for Midsummer Night's Dream, and I thought, there lies Titania some time of the night. Perfect for Oberon. I memorized the monologue. I memorized the young lovers, even though I was not lover material. So I memorized it, and I go in and I do this audition, and of course, everybody watches each other's audition, and I think, oh my goodness, I got this. And I called Les. I said, Les, I really did a good job on my audition. I think I got it. He said, don't count your chickens before they hatch. I said, no, I was really good. And I went to the casting board the next day, you know, here I go. And I look on the thing, and it's like, Oberon, not you. What about the young, no, what about the chink in the hole in the wall? Nothing. I got nothing. And that wonderful act of failing completely is why I'm an actor.
Is what led you here today. Incredible.
Well, you're a stand-up comedian, right?
Yes.
You do these things.
Oh, I fail all the time.
You fail, and then that makes you stronger.
Yeah. I do have to, from that incredible first impulse of choice to make Mario the character to be friendly and fun, can you tell us how the character grew from that point?
Yeah, you know, I was very, very fortunate to spend 5 years doing improvisation. So we would be at a show, a consumer electronics show, and I was in a hidden camera, hidden microphone doing these things glued to my face, and the computer was as big as that desk over there, you know, just gigantic. And it would overheat, and the character would freeze, and we had all kinds of things going on all the time. So I was doing that, and then, you know, somebody asked me if I would do a game. I think it was Mario Fundamentals, and then Mario teaches typing, you know. And I thought, this is great, because I will go with the character knowledge I have to teach children typing. And it's like, very noble. And I get in there, and it's like, oh, you know, that was a great job, good job. But then when you didn't do a great job, you failed. That you know, you failed, that was no good. You have to go back to the beginning and start again, and you have to do it better. And I read that, and I thought, can I just change this wording a little bit? And he goes, sure, go ahead, change the wording. So I said, well, that was great, but I know you can do even better. Let's go again. Wahoo! Because I wanted the character to be a man who is like everything that I wish to be, you know, courageous, which I'm not, but courageous, loving, supportive, respectful of everyone. And that's the great gift of Nintendo, was giving me the chance to just play and create that way. And to me, it's like Mario is the ideal man, you know, protecting, loyal, and yet optimistic and full of joy and happiness and glee. And that's what I want for everybody in the world, you know. I happen to be a lot more Luigi. I can tell you. My brother was more Mario. My brother's like, hey, let's go outside. But wait, the babysitter said no. Boom, he's out, you know. Door was open or not, he's out the door. And me, I'm like, oh no, he shouldn't go out there. But of course, being the younger brother, you also learn how to run faster to get away from his wrath. And I also grew to be taller. So life is just like that.
Can we talk about some of your other characters then? If you're saying
Yes.
you're more Luigi, Wario, for example, is one of my favourites.
Oh, yeah.
What can you tell us about his character?
He likes garlic.
Oh, of course.
Well, you know, that was, again, thank you to Nintendo always. We were doing a consumer electronics show, and I went in, and one day there was, instead of Mario, there was Wario, you know, this large, you know, and it's like, oh, this is fun. So I'm going to make him the nemesis of everything that Mario is, he's going to be not. You know,
Oh, have a rotten day.
yeah,
Oh, give me that. You know, mine.
I wanted that to be, you know, because instead of the kindness, the greed, you know? And the same thing with Waluigi, the kind of the nemesis of Luigi. Luigi is fear and trepidatious, and Waluigi is, you know, full of entitlement, you know?
I deserve that. That's mine. You know, what about me? You know, everybody cheap but me. Man. Oh, hello, Mr. Eyeball. You know,
So he's always and of course, self-pity is a terrible energy, but I've always been a huge believer in making comedy fall back upon the character. And this came actually out of Les Abbott's class, my very first acting class. There was a guy with a stutter. And he had this very pronounced stutter. And I said, have you always had this stutter? And he says, no, on my 21st birthday, I went to Las Vegas with my friends. We had a dinner and a show, and I sat there, and all of a sudden, the lights came on, and the comedian, the stand-up comedian goes, hey, it's somebody's 21st birthday. Stand up, kid. And he said, I stood up. And he said, oh, never mind, sit down, you big fat kid. Oh, look at that, in pimply face acne. And he said, every time he made a comic statement about me, I got more flush, but the audience laughed bigger, and I felt smaller and smaller, and I woke up in the morning with a stutter, and I've had it ever since. So that was the gift of that moment, is I will never make fun of anyone. I will never, in any comedic situation, make it go that way. And in that instant, I learned, okay, let's learn how to do it this way.
Yeah.
Let's have what Wario many years later, he thinks, all right, I've got my throne, and it's a gold toilet.
Yeah.
So that it always comes back. And I think that finding the ways to not be hurtful, but to make us laugh at life, it's challenging.
It's incredible that we can all see ourselves in elements of all of the characters.
Yeah.
Not necessarily ones that we'd like to see in ourselves, but I feel like we all experience,
Yeah.
anger or selfishness or self-pity, but we all, aspire to be more a Mario.
Sure. I mean, you should see me in the morning when I spill my coffee 3 times. I'm like, Wah,
Can I ask, speaking to you now, you seem like you're able to switch between these characters so easily. Did that take us some time? When each new character came along, did you have to sort of cement them within yourself before you can get to... Is it like a Mario Party in your mind?
It's a Mario Party in my mind. That's a beautiful description. To me, I had a wonderful friend, Sidney Walker, a octogenarian. I was doing The Tempest with at a theater company, and I was getting so frustrated because it wasn't solid enough. And he said, "Well, dear, it's not brain surgery, it's acting, And it gave me a sense of perspective. It's like, we're here to have fun. Yes.
Fantastic.
That's what I do. That's what I do best.
Oh, another just quick character question that I think's funny.
Sure.
Are you invested when your characters move into new games? For example, were you excited for Luigi to get Luigi's Mansion?
I was so happy for Luigi. Oh, he's like, I identify so much with him. I want to be more Mario in my life, but I identify so much.
We've got some big Luigi fans in the room.
Is there Luigi fans?
Yippee! Number 1. Ho ho! I'm upside down.
Look at that. Oh, that's a picture of everybody.
Oh, there's the billboard.
Hello, everybody. Wow, look at that.
The joy, the love in the room is just
Is there
incredible.
a camera up there?
Yeah.
Hello. Wow, that's amazing.
But Luigi's Mansion, you were very happy for Luigi. I was thrilled.
Mario, I'm a cacao. And then the director said, do you mind seeing if you can hum along with this? And that was just so sweet and so fun.
How much improvisation, it seems like there's a lot of play in these recording sessions. How much improvisation is going on? And do you have any particular favorite line that you recall?
The directors have always been so nice. And my principle as an actor is I always do the script one time exactly as it's written.
Yep.
And then never again. Because I want to play and I want to go, farther and stretch, and so I'll do that. You're supposed to do 3 days, like, hello, hello, hello. You do 3 takes or something. I will do 3 and then 987 more until the director says, I think we got that. Please stop, But then I've always wanted, like, in case something happened to me, I wanted Nintendo to have at least 1 million sound files, and I'm sure they do.
Wow. But was there anything improvised that you remember? I believe there was something in Mario 64.
I really love that. When you put down the controller, something's, we've got to do something, and maybe he falls asleep, and I'm like, spaghetti, ravioli, the princess. And I did that, and it was like, yeah, So that sort of thing was so much fun. But the directors were always, and the beautiful thing is, the creation was together.
Yes.
You know, who cares where the idea comes from? Nobody had ego invested. It's just you want to do the best possible game that's possible. And I'm convinced that that's what always happens, you know, that the love of the game is what inspires the technology to go from still to you know, side scroll to 3-dimension to off the couch to whatever we have today and whatever's coming next. It's the love of the game, and that passion, that joy, that happiness is what gave me the happiest career I can possibly imagine.
It's so incredible.
And continues to.
We've still got a little bit of time, then we're going to audience
Yes.
questions. Oh, no, I'm not rushing on.
Yes,
just
we do.
I'm going to move to something about the fans, because I know how important that is for you. You travel around the world meeting all of the fans. You're so full of warmth and positivity and generosity, and, you know, like being here in Sydney and sharing memories with all of our Mario fans all over the world. Do you have any, you know, special fan memories? I know you've met thousands over the years, but...
You know, they're just so many, people are just so nice. And this is my thing. If you read the newspaper, you think how cynical and how terrible things are. People are so genuinely wonderful. Everybody's heart is so sweet. And you know, after 33 years of doing the voice, these beautiful children come up and say, "You're the voice of my childhood. I used to play your games when I was little." And they're like 6. And I said, "Well, who do you play now?" "Mario games." "Oh, okay, great, okay," you know. Just the love and the joy and the happiness, fun. And one of my favorite fan memories, can I tell you one of my favorite fan memories?
Please.
It was right here in Australia. It was in Melbourne.
Oh,
It was in
sorry.
Melbourne.
Oh.
So, you know, I used to do a lot of PR, you know, when games came out. I used to go around the world and do PR, and, you know, Nintendo invited me to come here, so I said, "Yippee!" You know, and I came running over, and we were doing this media tour, and we were in Melbourne, and we had to do the media, but we ended up getting extra calls, and then we still had to get to a store to sign autographs and take quick pictures. So we're like, we're late. And we drive to the store thinking, okay, it'll be so nice when we get to the store. Except there was a line that went all the way around the entire city block. And we're like, we have like 1 hour to sign everybody's thing, to take pictures of everybody. So this PR agent from Nintendo, she puts in overdrive. She's got organizer. You take the camera. You did it. You did this. You did this. You did it. You Charles, here's a pen. You know, you sign with this. Don't write anything. Just write it. And we're just like, you know, they're coming all the way up the staircase, and they're out in the street, and we're going. We're going so fast. And you know, I've never autographed so fast in my life. And these 5 boys come up, and I'm like, "Okay, what do you have to sign? What do you have to sign?" "We don't have anything to sign." I said, "Well, what do you want me to sign? Can you sign our foreheads?" "Of course, come here." And I signed their foreheads. And I think I was on the plane an hour later going, "Did I sign somebody's forehead?" "Yeah, you did, 5 of them. You know.
You signed 5 foreheads.
I signed 5 foreheads.
Also, can we get a round of applause for incredible Australian accent? I didn't know you could do that. That was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That was one of my most fond memories ever.
Simple question. I mean, I'm just jumping all over the place. What is it about Mario that makes him so loved, do you think?
That's a beautiful question. Because he is what every person would like to be. An everyman
Promise.
who falls in love with a princess. Honest, loving, optimistic, joyful, courageous, able to face adversity with hope and caring, and in love with the princess. Genuinely in love. And I think that love does that to people. Makes you better.
I mean, beautiful.
Sorry, I'm always a little tender. I'm always like on the verge of tears when I think of
It's
something.
beautiful. It obviously
Things
means
of
a
the
lot to you, and
heart.
it means so much to so many people around the world, like multiple generations. There's people who played as children who are playing with their children who are here. So can we have another round of applause? I mean, I hope you feel the love and the joy.
Thank you. I do get that wonderful statement. You know, I used to play with my granddad. Now I'm playing with my children. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you. But then I also get that. There was a soldier once. He said, I was 50 years old. He goes, well, sir, I just want to say your grandkids must be very proud of you, sir. I said, grandkids? I'm only 50. He goes, well, sir, my dad's 47, and he's got 3 grandkids by me and 2 by my brother, 4 by my... And I'm like, okay. I'm old. I have to face the fact.
Last question before we move to some audience
Yes, I'm sorry, yeah.
questions. Oh, no, this is perfect. Oh, I see. I know we've got... Oh, here's me been looking at my watch. There's a thing there, right there, that I could have been looking at that whole time. Well, then I've got another question for you. It's so exciting you've been announced in your new role as Mario Ambassador.
Yes.
How are you feeling about that? What can you tell us about that role?
Diplomatic immunity.
That's what I said when I went through customs. I'm like, diplomatic immunity. They said, okay, there's a little padded room over there for you. You know, it's so lovely. My life has been being a Mario ambassador for 33 years because I'm so much in love with the character, and I'm so grateful to put my little touch and my little mark in people's hearts of joy and happiness and fun. So continuing that role, I'm just not doing the voice in the game, but I'm still practicing every day to make it better, to make it more clear, to make it more loving, to make it more, just because whenever somebody comes to me and they're going to hear that voice.
Yeah.
So I want it to be better than it's ever been.
Incredible. And sharing the message and sharing the joy
Yeah,
and the warmth.
share
and you
it.
are Mario.
Share it, you know,
So-
because if there's like, we have to answer audience questions, but if I can just say one thing, fall in love with yourself. It's the hardest thing to do because everything says you're not supposed to do that. But treat yourself like the person you love most in the world. Start right there to get rid of that negative voice that looks from the outside. You know, you're too tall, you're too fat, you're too old, you're too young, you're too thin, you're too that. All that, you're not good enough. All those things, quiet that voice by being in love with yourself and genuinely do things to make yourself trust yourself, to build the self-esteem, to become more in touch with who you are, because you deserve all the love the world has, all the love you deserve, and everything in life you deserve. But it starts with that relationship with your sweet self. And it's a lifelong project, believe me. I'm not there yet. I'll let you know when I get there. But that's where I start, you know?
So beautiful. One more very fun, quick one for me. What a
Yeah.
beautiful message is, I'm currently playing Super Mario 3D World at the moment and having a wonderful time, and I am obsessed with Cat Mario. Oh my gosh. Tell me about
Gosh,
Cat Mario.
I love that. I was at E3, and the creators were there, and they had the warp pipe, and you could take a picture of yourself with the little mittens on, the little kitty cat mittens with the little pink paws. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the cutest thing in the world. So I got my picture done and talked to the developers, and then we went to record this, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait. I can't. The kitty cats, meow. You know, and we would do that. We'd say, meow, and they say, oh, that message from Japan. Oh, that was very nice. Maybe a little stronger. Oh, meow. Oh, that was very nice. Maybe a little stronger. Meow. Maybe very nice. Maybe until I finally went, meow. Ah, yes, that's the one. And so that was it, you know. And then Kitty Luigi, meow, you know.
Just what
and
your life is like. Just going to work one day and just
It
staying
really,
a cat.
people call it, hey, you know, come and play in our sandbox. We have some new toys for you to play with. Whoopee! You know?
Fantastic.
That's my life.
It's incredible. Well, thank you so much. We're going to move on to some audience questions.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Katrina has asked. I hope Katrina's in the room with the
Hi,
question.
Katrina.
What is your favorite Mario game that you've
Oh, that's a
played?
lovely question. You know, a fan came up to me and said, you know, you're in 168 games. And I got the Guinness Book of World Record at 100, like, I don't know how many years ago. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what is my favorite? You know, I'm good enough to always be able to find out that the princess is not in this castle. That's the skill set. And you know, Mario Sunshine taught me that I will never be great at this game. Because, you know, you get on that crane and you inch forward, and the sound I heard the most, wah! And, you know, I just made it. I just turned the volume. I'll just do it, you know. And then you start getting confidence, and then the crane turns around, and your brain has to go, oh, that's easy. Now just do the opposite. Wah! 50 times. But that was one of, so I like the sandbox games, you know. There was, you can run around, you're like, woo, woo, you know. Odyssey is a fabulous 3D world. I love the music. It was created by this marvelous woman, you know. Super Mario Bros. Wii, Super Mario Bros. Wii. And to start with, Mario teaches typing. Of course, because that solidified in my heart my commitment to what I was going to do with that loving character. But then 64, Sunshine, Galaxy was unbelievable.
Galaxy's, I've played Galaxy in the last couple of years, and it's so much fun.
Yep.
It's great. Difficult, like we're talking about
difficult.
those levels.
And Luigi's Mansion.
And Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion just touches my little heart.
Well, thanks for your question, Katrina. Next question.
Thank you.
From Zach. Zach, what is your favorite line of dialogue that you recorded as any of the characters?
You the superstar. I love that. That's just when I autograph, that's what I put. Superstar, you number one. Because I want people to always go, oh yes, that's me.
That's the positive one. Fabulous. Nicholas has asked, "G'day, Charles!" Exclamation
G'day,
mark.
Nicholas.
Very polite, Nicholas. If you're in the room, I'm very interested to know what are your this is good. What are your thoughts on the wildlife, the people, food, and any personal experience you've had while visiting Australia?
Oh, that's a lovely question.
Thank you, Nicholas, from Tourism Victor Australia.
Yes. I love the food here. I love the lobster, the shrimp, and the seafood. Fantastic. I've had a lot of Japanese food while I'm here because that's my favorite. And the fish has been fantastic. So fresh. I love walking along the zoo. You know, we have the little white birds with the little crest on them.
Cockatoos?
Cockatoo. The little cockatoo that's wandering around on the line. It's like, it's so precious, you know. And I once... I came to do a sort of like tour of Australia with the, you know, Comic-Cons, because that's what I do a lot of. I do a lot of Comic-Cons. I go around the world, meet wonderful Mario fans. So between two shows, we went to the zoo, and you know, the zookeepers are out on the lawn. It's like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know, oh look, you know, everybody else was handling the snakes. I'm like, oh no, 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 no. You know, but you know, there was a koala bear. And the woman goes, would you like to have the koala bear? And I'm like, sure. And I held the koala bear. It was so sweet. And then I felt this warmth in my hand. And I went, baby diaper, baby diaper. And a perfect green cube was in my hand.
That is a compliment.
That was my first experience with the fauna.
It's an extreme honor.
It was... very sweet.
What a wonderful question. So, like the food.
The food, the you know, let's face it, the best thing is the people. The people here are so lovely, so loving, so kind, so courteous and polite. It's a marvel. I love you all. I really thank you. Yeah.
Fantastic. Excellent.
Absolutely marvelous.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This is an interesting question.
Okay.
It's a good question. I wasn't expecting it. Alexander. This sounds
hello.
very pointed. I feel like you're having an argument in your family and you want a tiebreaker. Alexander asked, does pineapple belong on a pizza?
Ooh.
I mean...
Oh, that gets right to the crux of the matter.
Yeah. Is this something you're asked often?
No, this is a rare question because it's so significant.
Oh, I see. Yep.
You know, you heard about the Olympics and the massive controversy, and some group was like putting pizzas. You get a free pizza if you had pineapple on it because they were mad at the Italians or something. I don't know. It was the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't personally put pineapple on a pizza, but I've had it in Hawaii with the little ham and the pineapple, and I went, huh, it's delicious. It's not a pizza, but it's delicious. You know?
Where is
I like a little
Alexander?
pepperoni, quattro
Is Alexander
formaggi.
in the room? Can we get a round of applause for Alexander? That
That's
was
a great
fabulous question.
Thank you.
Do you agree, Alexander? You love pineapple on
pineapple
pizza.
pizza. There it is.
Well, you can love it, but apparently it's not a pizza.
Yes. I will share a pizza with you with pineapple on it.
Thank you, Alexander. Excellent question.
Thank you.
Oh, this is really great questions. Thank you. Michael's in the room. What sort of advice would you, and I feel like a lot of people want it, what sort of advice would you give to anyone looking to make a voice acting career?
Oh, that's a lovely question. I will tell you the very essence of acting. Acting is a dog chasing the ball on the beach. There's no consciousness, there's no consciousness. He's not watching himself. He's just doing. He's living in that very moment. And that's what acting is. Acting is all the same. Film actors just have to feel things, whereas a cartoon character or a video game character, it has to be giant. It's like, yahoo! You can't sit there and going, yahoo, whoopee, because there's nothing there to it. So you've got to fill the air, and that's what you move the air. I love that description. But if you want a career in voice acting, it's all acting. So if you're in school, take acting classes, take communication classes, write, learn to write and read so that you get a sense of what dialogue is and what it means. And then learning about acting, every character believes they're right. And every character, like every person, is looking for love. And so it's just the distortion of how they go about getting it. So you learn, you train with a microphone, so that you know the distance from your mouth and you don't scream when it's close or it distorts. So you learn all the techniques and everything on stage, off stage, everywhere. Study, study, study. Watch a lot of cartoons if you're doing voiceover. Listen to ads. And you'll notice you never, ever, ever hear the character seem self-conscious. He's never looking. He's always being. And I'm one of those people, I believed until I was 35 that Fred Flintstone was real. I didn't know there was an actor there. The only reason I became a voice actor is because I was doing a commercial, and at the end the director said, do you do voiceover? And I said, yes. And he goes, well, here, read this copy. And I said, Orchard Supply Hardware, the right item at the right price, right now. And he gave me $250 for doing that in about 15 seconds. And I said at that moment, I'm a voice actor. Because it really is just the same thing. It has to be real. But acting itself is the dog chasing the stick or the ball on the beach. It's like you learn all that technique, and then you let it go. You let it go, and you play, and you have fun. You're in that moment, seeking the love or doing whatever you're doing. Just be in that moment and have fun. Because I'll tell you, I've been in the studio, and you do it. Try new this bleach, and you look in the mirror or the window at the people inside, and they can be going like this, and your ego will go, oh my goodness, they hate it. They hate what I'm doing. What can I do? I'm a failure. But what they're doing is they're looking at the sandwich menu going, I don't want another bologna and cheese. So don't trick yourself. Be.
Wow. Do you have any favorite voice actors?
You caught me
Tough
at a place
question.
where I'm just terrible with names. I'm just terrible.
Well, other
the
questions.
man who invented all voice actors.
Yes, cartoon. I mean, favorite cartoon, Fred Flintstone back in the day.
Yeah, but that was Hanna-Barbera. But the Warner Brothers, Daffy Duck, every single, I can't believe I can't remember.
Do you?
Mel Blanc, thank you.
Do you have a memory?
Grandpa.
Did you do
Hey.
voices? Do you have a memory, or anyone telling you when you were a child, of doing voices when you were a kid?
Thank you for asking that, because
Oh, yes.
but we used to watch the Jackie Gleason show, and there was a scene where he's a bartender, and there was a guy that came in and goes, "Hey, Joe. Hello, you, Mr. Donaghy." And I would do that, and my mom would laugh. And I did this every Friday night at 7 o'clock, and my mom would laugh. And it was that little thing that gave me the inspiration. But I never thought I'd be a voice actor. I didn't know what a voice. I never thought I could ever be an actor.
But it was always there, that spark of performance.
I was always the class clown. Yes,
Fantastic.
I was. The class clown.
Thank you for that excellent.
That's a lovely question. Thank you.
Michael asks, Michael in the room. Oh no, I just asked that one. Thank you for your question, Michael. That was a very good question.
That was.
Oh my gosh, another great one from Lucas. Lucas is in the room. What is your real life superpower?
Oh boy, that's a beautiful question.
Is Lucas nearby? Is Lucas in the room? Hi, Lucas. Thank you very much. Very
Thank you
good
for
question.
that question. So now is when I don't
Stumped.
cry on purpose.
Oh.
You know, respect. Respect. Respecting all people. Because all people, skin color, sexuality, origin, everything, we're all the same. Same heart. A mother crying over her child. It's the same. So if I could have one thing, it'd be to really, truly respect all people. And that would be the gift that I would wish to give to humanity.
I think it's very clear that to all of us that your superpower, we feel that and spreading the
I
joy.
I try, but I can tell you this one story.
Yeah.
We have this company that always raises the rate, and my mother, I would, pay the bills with my mother, and they would raise the rate. And I would, I'd call up and say, "How dare you raise the rate on my mother?" And so I'm getting ready to unleash my fury, and ring. "Hello, this is da 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 da." I said, "Hi, this is Charles Martinet, and I just want to say, oh wait, the Charles Martinet?" Yeah. Yes, this is Charles. My husband met you when he was a soldier in Kaiserslautern, and you went to his place, and you were the nicest man. He still talks about you today. And I went, oh, she just saved me. Because my desire is to always be kind, always respectful, always, recognize the humanity in everyone. And yet I was in that moment willing to not, because I was in protection mode of my mother. It's not a good enough excuse, So I just believe that was a teaching moment for me to remember. So I always take a breath. It's like, what do I want from this? Where do I want to go? Who do I want to be? Because the answer always for me in any dilemma in life is the question, what's the most loving thing I can do? Because when you answer that, you're always right. It is the most loving thing. It's not always the easiest thing to find, but it is so important to look for the love.
Follow-up question.
Yes.
What would you like as an unreal superpower? Like an actual superpower?
Oh, boy.
Light, invisibility,
Eternal life.
jump, eternal life.
Yeah. I would stay in this body for the next 600 years, 1,000 years. I love life. I love to travel. When I'm not traveling, doing Comic Cons and shows, I get on a plane and I go. This year, we were going to Japan, then we couldn't go to Japan, so we went to the Serengeti, and we just looked at the animals. And then my partner, who knows I love doing these things, I have 8 days off, says, okay, we're going to Brazil, and we're going to the Iguazu waterfalls, the biggest waterfalls in the world, and then we're going to go jaguar spotting. And I'm like, yippee! And that's what we did, We went to Egypt, and we saw these incredible pyramids, and this marvelous thing about humanity. Really fast, I'll say this. They were building the Aswan Dam, and this little boy named Abu Simbel talked to the architect, said, "Let me show you, and I found something in the thing," And so the architect looks, and there is, carved into the mountain, Ramses VI and his wife and several gods, and inside that mountain there are more gods on either side, and hieroglyphs, and the turkey vulture that symbolizes the transition of life to death, between each room. And then in the back there's a small antechamber, and inside that is more gods on this side, Ramses and his wife here, and another 2 gods over there. And twice a year, February 17th and October 17th, or 27th and 27th, the light, this is the significance of this, was he was coronated on the 17th or 27th of February, and then was born on the other date. And the light goes into this, past the gods and the outside, in through the door, straight into the back, and lights up Ramses, his wife, the gods on this side, the gods on that side, and doesn't light up one of the gods, the god of darkness.
Wow.
And this is done, I don't know how many thousands of years ago. And so to preserve it, because they were building the Aswan Dam, all the engineers of the world dug all this stuff out of this carved into the mountain, raised it up and put it up in this town that they now call Abu Simbel. They put everything with every scientific calculation they had, and they put it there, and they missed by a day.
Oh, no.
And now it's the 28th and the 28th, I think.
Oh.
So you just go, oh my goodness, humanity's amazing.
Wow.
We're amazing.
So much to see.
Yeah, we
Want to see
still
it all.
don't know how they made the pyramids. We still look into the skies and we don't get to see it anymore. But the Greeks looked up and they saw that there were 1 trillion universes, galaxies, trillions of them.
Well, this is with Mario universes as well. Oh, no, not at all.
Yes.
But this is the thing. You're able to travel through worlds. Just when you said pyramids,
Yes.
I just had a vision of in Odyssey, the upside down pyramid,
Yes.
and just taken to how all of these worlds that we're able to escape into and play and have fun and
marvelous.
be ourselves.
Welcome to my new galaxy. Yippee!
I do have another question. One more
Yes,
question
I'm sorry,
from,
and I
from
won't-
Daniel. No,
I won't.
This is absolutely perfect. I hope you enjoy it. We've got a few minutes left, so I'm going to do two more questions and then
Yeah.
we'll come back. This is from Daniel. If Daniel's in the room. Did you have to learn Japanese when starting work with Nintendo, or over time as your career progressed? And how was that journey? Very good question, Daniel.
That's a lovely question. Thank goodness I did not have to learn Japanese. But my voice is in the games that went all around the world. I didn't have to learn Japanese. When I do, it's when I say domo arigato, it's like, okay, that's enough. Don't have to say much more than that, So but I haven't had to learn it. But I love Japan. I love Japanese culture and art and music and the history and I love Kyoto, 137 Michelin-starred restaurant. We ate in one last year that the room was 600 years old that we were eating in. Just that level of history and life. So I do love Japan very, very much. And the last 3 nights in a row I've had a little sushi, so I like
Don't
the food
speak it,
too.
didn't learn it
And the
all.
traditional older foods too. Marvelous.
Our final audience question is from Mike, which is, and I think
Yes.
we might have covered it a bit, do you have a distinct memory realising the profound impact you've had on fans' lives around the world? Thank you, smiley face. No, I guess we haven't.
That's a lovely question.
is there
It is such a profound honor to do what I love to do and know that it touches your heart. That is the greatest gift I could ever have possibly imagined, and I never did. I just went out and did my job and loved every second of it. And one day I'm walking through at E3. I'm walking along, at a lunch break after performing Mario live, and I'm walking along, and this guy says to me, "Excuse me, are you Charles Martinet?" And I said, "Yes, I am." He says, "The voice of Mario, right?" I said, "Yeah, the voice of Mario." He goes, "Would you autograph something for me?" And I said, "Well, sure. I don't have a pen and I don't have anything to write it on, but I could." He goes, "That's all right. I've got it." And he opens up his backpack, pulls out a bunch of games, and I sat down and I thought, what do you autograph? So I've always signed like Mario because he's first, he's the reason I'm here, and then Charles Martinet, and I'm like, you number one, Mario, Charles Martinet. Oh, that makes sense. So I did that, and I thought, well, that's nice. And I looked up, and there were 25 people standing behind him in a queue. And I went,
Wow.
oh my goodness. So that was my first introduction to this notion.
The first part.
And then meeting fans, knowing that it's touched their hearts, has just been the greatest gift of my life. Thank you. Really, truly, thank you.
Thank you so much. I believe you also, round of applause for that, please. I believe you've got one more meet and greet today. Is
Yes,
that
I
right?
have one
You've
more
already
meet and
done
greet.
2 today, so absolutely recommend getting in line and getting a photo and having a personal moment with Charles. You've just been absolutely so wonderful to talk
Thank
to. It's
you.
been an honour and a privilege, and your message is so beautiful. And I think to wrap up, my final question for you is,
Yes.
you, as we've seen just in the last hour, there's such a wonderful positive, generous, giving person.
Thank you.
Do you have a philosophy that you live your life by, or a final message you'd like to share before
Yes,
we wrap up?
I do. Thank you for asking. Well, it's really love yourself. It's really develop that relationship with yourself. But also, life is like a video game. You know, you come into this game, you push the power on, and here you are, and you face these trials and tribulations, the ups and downs, and each time the failures make you stronger, the wins make you stronger, and you grow. And then you realize at the end of the game that you've been the hero of your game the whole way. So be your hero. And thank you for playing my game.
Incredible. What a wonderful way to finish. Thank you so much. Enjoy
Thank
the rest
you.
of your weekend.
Thank you very
And the
much.
festival. Thank you. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Sid.
Wahoo! You the superstar! Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And this is going to be such a great week. Thank you so much. We can.